Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to see about the next important, the powerful transform. It's a Z transform. Okay. So in order to analyze the discrete time signal and discrete time system, we already discussed one transform. It's a DTFT, discrete time Fourier transform. Okay. So similarly, in order to analyze the discrete time signal and discrete time system, we are using one more transform. It is said to be the Z transform. Okay, so this Z transform is it is, so what is that is, the transform uses, the transform means it converts the time domain signal into frequency domain signal. The discrete time transform, it converts the time domain signal x of n into the frequency domain capital X of e power j omega. Okay, similarly, the Z transform, it converts the discrete time signal x of n into the complex frequency domain representation. Okay, so any signal x of n, the Z transform, okay, the Z transform of the signal x of n, it can be written as capital X of Z. Okay, so here the Z is a variable. Okay, Z is a variable. That's the thing. That is the DTFT of x of n, it can be written as capital X of e power j omega. So what is the relation between the discrete time DTFT and Z transform means, in the place of e power j omega, we have to put this Z. Okay, so in the place of e power j omega, we have to put Z, means that is said to be the Z transform. Okay, so formula all and all same, that is similar to that of the DTFT. Okay, so we will see the definition of the Z transform. So in Z transform, there are two types of Z transform is there. One is bilateral Z transform or two-sided Z transform. Okay, so that is for which signal we are using this two-sided Z transform means, so you see the Z transform of any signal x of n, it can be written as capital X of Z. Okay, in DTFT, the DTFT of x of n, it can be written as a capital X of e power j omega. Similarly, the Z transform of x of m, we have to mention it as a capital X of Z. So which is equal to, so what is the formula in DTFT? Summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e power minus j omega n. Okay, so here in the Z transform formula, same summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n z to the power minus n. So what is the relation between that DTFT formula and this Z transform formula means, in the place of j omega, we have to put, okay, we have to replace the e power not minus j omega, we have to replace e power j omega by z, means that is the Z transform formula. Okay, so simply the same formula, summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n z power minus n. Okay, so here the summation limit is, you see, the summation limit is from n equal to minus infinity to infinity. Okay, for the entire time duration of negative time, from the time minus infinity to infinity, we are calculating this Z transform. That's why this Z transform, it is called as two-sided Z transform. Okay, both sided. For negative value of time and for positive value of time, we are calculating. So the other name of this two-sided Z transform is a bilateral Z transform. Okay, so for which signal we have to use this formula means, if the given signal x of n is having values in negative time and positive time, means we may use this formula. Okay, that is, for example, x of n equal to a power modulus n problem. So what is a power modulus n? Already we solved a power modulus n problem in the DTFT. That is a double-sided exponential signal. Okay, so the a power modulus n is having value in negative axis and positive axis. Okay, so for that problem, we may use this two-sided Z transform. Okay, and the another transform is unilateral or one-sided Z transform. So this transform, this formula is mainly used for the signal. Signal x of n is defined only for n greater than or equal to 0. That is, the signal x of n is available only for the positive time axis. Okay, for example, unit step sequence u of n, r of n, a power n u of n. Okay, we derived so many problems, that unit step sequence, ramp sequence, exponential. that is right-sided exponential sequence, all that sequences only available for the positive time axis. Okay, so for that case, we may use this unilateral formula. So the formula is not at all, there is no deviation is there. What is the difference means? So here the summation limit is from n equal to minus infinity to infinity, entire time duration. Here unilateral means summation n equal to 0 to infinity. That is for positive value of time we are calculating. Okay, so this is said to be the unilateral or one-sided Z transform. Okay, so or generally we may use this bilateral Z transform for any type of signal. Okay, it may be a causal signal or anti-causal signal. We may use generally this formula. Okay, so this is the important 2-mark question. Okay, define two-sided Z transform, one-sided Z transform. It's a very 2 or 3 times this question it will ask in a 2-mark question. Okay, or define bilateral is a transform, unilateral is a transform. So you have to write this formula. Okay, so it's a important 2-mark question. Then inverse is a transform. Okay, so you know what is inverse Z transform? Any transform is having inverse transform. Okay, so in the second unit we studied inverse Fourier transform, inverse Laplace transform. For Laplace transform we are having inverse Laplace transform. Similarly in the 4th unit we discussed DTFT. Okay, that is transform means it is used to convert time domain to frequency domain. So the inverse transform, it is used to convert the reverse. Okay, the frequency domain into again time domain signal. We are using inverse transform. So here the inverse Z transform means it is used to convert the Z domain into time domain signal. That is capital X of Z. We are going to convert into the time domain signal small x of n. So this is said to be the inverse Z transform. Okay. So what is the formula in order to convert this Z domain x of Z into small x of n means the formula is that x of n equal to inverse Z transform of capital X of Z. The formula is that 1 divided by 2 pi j integration over closed contour capital X of Z to the power n minus 1 into dz. Okay, so using this formula we may calculate inverse Z transform. Okay, or that is you know the that is while calculating transform, so we may use partial fraction method also. Okay, in order to find the inverse Z transform we may use partial fraction method. Okay, so either we may use this formula method or we may use the partial fraction method in order to find the inverse Z transform from the capital X of Z. Okay, so this is the formula to find inverse Z transform. Okay, then the next one is ROC, region of convergence. Okay, so already this region of convergence, this term we described in Laplace transform. Okay, in Fourier, in continuous time Fourier transform, in discrete time Fourier transform, there is no term region of convergence. Okay, but in Laplace transform and in Z transform, there is a term, there is an important term, it is said to be the region of convergence, that is ROC. Okay, so this ROC definition is also a important 2-mark question. Okay, so either the question may be define ROC in Laplace transform or ROC in Z transform. Okay, it's a very important thing, region of convergence. So what is region of convergence means? The region of convergence is a set of set of points in a complex plane for which the Z transform converges. That is the range of values of Z over which this X of Z answers. So what is this formula? Summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity X of n Z power minus n. Okay, this formula is that this is the calculation of Z transform of any signal X of n. Okay, so what is region of convergence means? For which range of value of Z this modulus of X of Z attains finite value. Okay, that is less than infinity. That condition we are calling it as a region of convergence. In the Laplace transform we defined, that is the range of values of sigma over which the Laplace transform answer attains finite and positive. Similarly, here the region of convergence is that the range of values of Z over which the magnitude of the Z transform answer attains finite. Okay, less than infinity means finite and finite value. that range of values of z, it is called as a ROC. Okay, and the next one, that is for each problem in the z transform. Okay, in Laplace transform, for each problem, that is find the Laplace transform of u of t, means we calculated the Laplace transform answer and we solved the ROC also. Okay, similarly in z transform itself, we have to find the z transform, and for each signal we have to find the ROC. Okay, by default we have to find the ROC. Sometime in question they may mention find ROC. Okay, then what are the properties of ROC? Okay, so this question is also important 2 mark question. Sometimes this question it may ask in big question 6 mark. Okay, 6 mark question. So what are the properties of ROC in Z transform? Means here the region of convergence is a ring. Okay, in Laplace transform the ROC is a that is the parallel in between. Okay, in between some area, that is the ROC. But here the ROC is a ring. Okay, ROC is a ring, that is ROC is a circle. Okay, here the ROC is a circle whose center is at the origin. Okay, the center point is always the origin. Okay, this is the x-axis, that is real of z. Along x-axis we are taking real of z. Along y-axis we are taking imaginary of z. Okay, so always the ROC is a ring. ROC is a circle whose center is the origin. Okay, this is the one of the property. Then the ROC cannot contain any poles. Okay, so you know pole. What is mean by pole? In the third unit we discussed. That is in one system equation. That is the transfer function equation. Okay, transfer function means what is h. Okay, in transfer function, in continuous time system transfer function, h of s. So h of s, it may be the numerator polynomial divided by the denominator polynomial. Okay, so the roots of the denominator polynomial we are calling it as a poles. Okay, so this ROC, in the ROC region cannot contain any pole. Okay, so for example, inside this region is a ROC, means within this region there are no poles are located. Okay, it is a meaning. If outside is the ROC region, means the poles are not located in the outside region. Okay, so I will discuss in the problem, while discussing problem I will explain. Okay, with the example I will explain these things. Okay, here you just study for 2 mark. So ROC cannot contain any pole. Okay, then ROC must be a connected region. Okay, for example, this full region is a ROC, or the outer is a ROC. So ROC must be a connected region. Okay, so not disconnected, it's a connected region. Then the next one is the ROC for a finite sequence. The ROC is entire Z plane except Z equal to 0 and Z equal to infinity. Okay, finite sequence. What is finite sequence? For example, x of n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that sequence you know. So we solved DTFT problem also. Okay, so it's a finite sequence. Finite sequence means the x of n is having only 4 samples. Okay, 4 samples. That's a finite sequence. So for finite sequence, if you are calculating the ROC, means the entire Z plane except 2 points. So what is a 2 point? Means Z equal to 0 and Z equal to infinity. That is this origin. Okay, this origin is not a ROC. The Z equal to infinity is not a ROC. So except the 2 point, remaining all terms are the ROC. Okay, if it is a finite sequence. Okay, then the next one is a x of n is a causal sequence. What is causal sequence? So the causal sequence means the signal, the sequence is available only for the positive time axis. So you may take it as an example for u of n, unit step sequence. Okay, so the unit step sequence is only available for the positive time. Okay, so r of n, u of n, r of n, a power n, u of n, these signals are the causal signal. So for causal signal, if you are calculating the ROC, means, so the ROC is an exterior part of circle having some radius alpha. So here alpha is some value, okay, some constant value. That means for that signal, if you are drawing the ROC, means, so this is the this is one circle. So this circle is having the area that is radius alpha. Okay, so for this causal signal, ROC is always this outer region. Okay, that is above this region. This is the radius alpha. So exterior part of the circle having radius alpha is available whenever the sequence is a causal sequence. Okay, then if the x of n is a anti-causal sequence. So what is anti-causal sequence? Causal means, you know, the sequence is only available for the positive time axis. Similarly, anti-causal means the signal is available for the negative time axis. So for example, a power n u of minus n signal or u of minus n signal, folded unit step. These are all the example for anti-causal sequence. So for anti-causal sequence, the ROC is opposite. That is the interior part of the circle having radius. Okay. For the causal sequence, the outer part is the ROC. For anti-causal sequence, this one, okay, the inner part of the circle, within the region is the ROC. Okay, this is the one of the property. And one more property, if x of n is a two-sided sequence, that is, for example, a power modulus n problem. Okay, for that problem, the ROC is the intersection of two circles of radius alpha and beta. Okay, at the time, what about the ROC means? So we have to draw two circle. Okay, so this circle is having radius some alpha. This outer circle is having the radius beta. So in between the region, okay, in between these two region is the ROC. If the signal is a two-sided sequence. Okay, so the three things you see, if the sequence is a causal means outer part of the circle is the ROC. If the sequence is anti-causal means inner part of the circle is the ROC. If the sequence is two-sided sequence means, so the ROC is the intersection of, that is, two circle. Okay, where this two circle intersected, that part is the ROC. Okay, and another one, for a stable system, the ROC contain unit circle. So this property we may use in the fifth unit. Okay, in order to analyze the given system is a stable system or not, the given system is a causal or not, in order to verify, we have to use the properties of ROC. Okay, so for one stable system, ROC contains unit circle. What is unit circle? The ROC contains the circle with the radius 1. Okay, unit means 1. So circle with the radius 1. Okay, if contain means that is said to be the stable system. Okay, so these are all the properties of ROC. Okay, some of these, so this properties of ROC, it's a 2-mark question also. Sometime this question may ask for 6-mark question. Okay, so thanks for watching my channel, and please subscribe my channel for more videos and share this video to your friends. Thank you. In the next video, we are going to discuss about the Z transform problems. Okay, so thanks for watching.